Welcome guys to this month's Global Stampin Video Hop. My name is Linda Dolke and today I'm going to be doing a fun card with the Hooray for Surprises bundle. So that's a stamp set, this one you see right here, and also the matching dies. These are something I missed in the catalogue. Our theme this month is love, but I thought that this one would work really well with that. And I will show it to you in the catalogue first. This is not going to be a long video today because I'm just going to show you a basic card made with this. I'm not actually using all the, it's actually an interactive set where you've got like little tabs that you can pull, or you can pull out the center here to reveal this hidden message. Super cute. I did do a video with this on one of my lives last Sunday night, I believe. So you go see that there if you wanted to. But the video that I'm doing today just shows you how to make a basic card with this set. And I'm going to be using this stamp here for my heart, the love theme, and sending lots of love. So let's pull that out. I'll show you the card. This is the card we're making today. Very simple, but I'll show you. And I've used here in the background the Most Adored 12 by 12 paper. Now that's actually a celebration paper, which means you can get it free with a $90 order here in Australia. If you're watching not in Australia, there's a different amount for each country. I believe it's $50 in the US, but there's different amounts depending on where you are. Okay, so this is the paper that I'm using today. It's got that beautiful foiling on one side. I'll show you more of that as we go through. So let's move these out of the way, and I'm going to bring in some of the basic pieces. So let's start with the Most Adored paper. I've got a partial pack here because I've been using it, as you can see. This is actually one of the, we're using this piece today. You can see with all the little hearts here in the background, that's what this is. And on the back of it, that's the other piece we're using that is in the background here. So it's actually just this sheet that I'm using, but there's lots and lots of beautiful foil paper, lovely designs on the back. Once again, going with that love theme. Like this is like almost like a tartan, isn't it, this one? And then on the back we've got little hearts on a flirty flamingo background. The colors in this paper are real red, flirty flamingo, gold and white. I love this marble design in the gold and white. And on the back of that we've got like real red with a very small check pattern, and then, or I should say a thin check pattern, more gold flowers and leaves on this side, and more swirls in the flirty flamingo on this side. So you can see this is absolutely beautiful paper, just gorgeous. Did I show it all to you? I think I did. There is 12 sheets in the pack. You get 2 of each of 6 different designs. All right, so I have got myself some bits and pieces. I'm doing mine in metric, but it's easily adapted to imperial as well. Okay, this is my card front piece. So that is 14.3 centimeters long and 10 centimeters wide. If you're going to be doing this in imperial, it would be 4 inches wide by 5 1/4 long. Okay, and then I've also got my base piece of cardstock, which would be 21, this is half a sheet of A4, so 21 centimeters wide by 14.8 long. Okay, so that's how that would be. Now I'm going to be doing this base bit. I might as well get this out of the way first. I've got this piece here, which is the back of those tartan pieces, and this is, let me have a think. This is, well, it's 3 inches, but that's 7.6 centimeters across. And then you're going to cut it into 3 equal places. So if you've done it in inches, they'll be each an inch wide. If you're doing it in, in metric, it'll be 2.5 centimeters for each piece. Okay, so 1 and 2. So they're all the same. Okay, so there's our 3 pieces. Okay. And then I'm going to be putting them onto the back, onto this piece of real red cardstock. So I'm going to have them across my card like so. All right. Now I'm going to use Tombow. You can use Seal. You can use whatever glue floats your boat. I'm going to use Tombow today. And when I'm putting pieces across a card like this, I always start at the one end. Okay, so let me get the glue on first. Got to tap it down on my glass mat here. I find the glass mat is a fantastic surface for working on for lots of different reasons. But I'm just going to... So I'm positioning this so it's the same from the top and the bottom, and you know, as much as you would like it to be, but a similar amount here at the sides, so it's straight parallel to this red edge, the real red cardstock, and then we'll do the other one on this side. So I always start with the outside pieces and then work in. You'll find that works a lot better for you, and then you're not going to run out of room on one end. So let's get that happening. So this one now is about the same amount. This should be the same amount from here on either side, and then this one just goes in the middle. So that just makes it really easy to do your positioning. So I'm just going to get my glue all the way down there and pop this one in the middle. So then I have my 3 pieces at the back. You could just put it all down in one solid piece, but I like the interest created by having 3 separate pieces, which looks really good. All right, now this piece is 7.5 centimeters wide by 13 centimeters. 11.5. Sorry about that. Yes, I'll double check that. It should be 7.5 wide. Yep, by 11.5 long. Yes, it is. Normally I work on a centerpiece that is 8 by 12, but I made this a little bit smaller because I wanted to make sure I could see plenty of my background. I didn't want to not be able to see that. And you can see if I put this on, we've still got a little bit popping out. If I'd made this any wider, we would have lost some of this background. Okay, so now I'm going to work on this piece. I've got a piece of basic white here, and let me go to my stamp set. I'm going to be cutting this one out. So there is matching dies for these, so you don't have to cut them out by hand unless you want to. If you don't have the dies, obviously cutting them out by hand is not difficult. But I'm just going to pop this on my D block. Oh, it wants to stick to my glass mat. There we go. And I'm going to use Real Red ink, which I have right here. In fact, Real Red is the only color ink I'm using with this card today. We're just keeping it nice and simple. And I'm going to... Now, this is a very solid stamp, okay? The glass mat is a perfectly flat, really good tempered glass surface. So once you've inked this up to your satisfaction, if you pop this down, you should get a really good image, okay? But if you're ever worried about it not being quite solid enough, or you don't have a glass mat, you can, of course, use a piercing mat underneath, or even a mouse pad. A mouse pad would also work, and let me show you. That will actually, it helps, because of the give behind it, it helps fill in and cushion any bits you might have missed. But to me, the glass mat is doing a pretty good job with this. So I'm going to call that fine. Now, while I'm here, I'm going to be doing a banner on the front of the card. This one that you can see right here, sending you lots of love. So that's here. So let's pop that on a block as well. And let's pop that on a slightly smaller block. I'm going to go with block C. And we're going to ink that up in the red as well. And I want to make sure there's enough room for me to cut it out with the banner, so leave a bit of space between that and any other stamping that you've done on your sheet. Looking good. That's all the stamping we have on this card. It's actually very simple, actually. All right, so let's have a little look at our dies. I've got this die here, which just cuts out my heart, okay? Like I said, why would you cut it out? Why would you fussy cut it if you have dies for it, right? That makes sense. Now, if you wanted to have it as an interactive card, which is what this set is designed to do, you can see it. These are the cards I did the other night on my video. I've got this pull piece, and I have actually pulled it out, and you can see I've got my hidden message underneath. Okay, it's very, very cute, very easy. This heart here has the piece that doesn't cut out all the way, so that you can use this little bit and add a pull tab. Okay, so that's what that's for. But if you wanted to see more about that, go check out that other video I did on Sunday night. All right, so I'm going to be running these through. The other thing I've done is I've added one set of extra dies, and these are the Thoughtful Expressions dies. I love these. I think they're so good. I have them in, they're in the new mini catalog as well, okay? And I used the second smallest of the banner dies. Actually, no, I didn't. I used the smallest. Goodness me. You could use the bigger one, but this is actually just big enough. Look at that. So it actually is the perfect size for this. So that's the one I'm going to be running. I'm going to be running these through my cut and emboss machine. So give me 1 second and I shall be right back. Okay, so here we go. You can see I've cut out my Sending You Lots of Love with this little banner die. This, like I said, the smallest one in the Thoughtful Expressions dies. I love nested dies. I love them. Banners are all nested, and I love that these shapes here are all nested. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of those and 4 of the banners, and it cuts out the stitching on the inside, the piece you're cutting out, but also the piece that's left behind. So I love that. It's a fantastic set. If you're looking for a good versatile set, I highly recommend it. All right, so now I have cut out my little flowers on my heart. They look good, and I've cut out my banner. So let's move that out of the way and pop this back in with the dies. All right. Right, so now we're ready to put this piece together. So this one is going to go onto here. Before we do that though, we've got to add something, and then I'm going to have this one down here. Okay, so that's how it's going to be, and then the whole thing is going to go onto here. You can see it's very, very simple. I've also cut in advance a couple of these pieces. Now these are also from these same, this is this die here. It cuts out this leaf shape where the 2 leaves are symmetrical and go on either side. And I originally put these 2 pieces like this, and I had them going on to here, but then I decided that wasn't quite enough, and I really like the idea of having 3. So I cut this one, I cut an extra one and then cut it in half, and then I'll put that piece aside for another project. So let's add this together. I'm going to use my glue dots, and I'm going to put my glue dot on the top of the gold piece, so it's actually facing towards the back of my heart, and then I'm going to put that so that they just poke out there on either side. Can you see that? And then this one, same thing. I'm going to pop a glue dot on top of him and pop that here in the middle, so it also pops out, and I've got my 3. You could have 2 if you'd like the look of that better, but I quite like the way that looks. So now I'm going to grab myself some dimensionals, and I'm going to put one up the top of my heart and one on the other side. Now when I'm using something stuck to the back of this, I like to put a dimensional over that, because that makes sure this is never coming out. Okay, your dimensionals are like adding an extra layer of adhesive that keeps them all in place. And I'll take that as the backings off those, and let's pop this in the center. I don't want it too high and I don't want it too low down. That's about right. And then this piece is going to go down the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead now and I'm going to stick this on here. This is a very simple card, but obviously you can certainly do a lot more with this set than what I'm doing today. I just think it's a really pretty set, and it's something I missed totally when I first saw the catalogue. I did not think about this set. I glossed straight over it. All right, so that's sitting nice. All right, this piece is going to end up down here. So let's pop a couple of dimensionals on the back of that. Just 2 is going to be plenty to hold it in place. And I want it to go a little bit over. Is that right? Yep, hang on. Ever so slightly not straight. Like so. All right. Now, on the original card, you might see I've also added some bling here. And for this, I thought the blooming pearls looked really, really good. I've got some petal pink. And even though petal pink isn't the same color as the Flirty Flamingo, it tones really well because it's got a little bit of like a salmony pink tone to it. And so does Flirty Flamingo. So I'm actually going to use you can take your pick tool or the point of your scissors, and we're going to pop this. Let me make sure there's a bonus cat hair. Whoops. How did that get there? All right, one there. And then we'll use a couple of these guys over here. One up here. So one bigger one and then two smaller ones up towards the top. Like so. All right. Now I'm going to use my Tombow. And I've got a piece of basic white here. This is basic white thick, which is what I prefer to use for my card bases. Just a personal preference, but I like the stability that thicker cardstock gives me. All right, so I'm going to flatten down the edge with a bone folder, and then we're going to pop that straight onto our card. And we're going to call this, believe it or not, a finished card. So a very, very easy one from me today. Don't forget, you can get a lot more creative and have these little interactive things that go on here. I think it's such a fun set. It is called Hooray for Surprises. There's a stamp set and a die set, and you can buy them separate or you can buy them as a bundle. And I'll show you where they are in the catalogue, only because, and we did talk about this earlier, only because right now it's celebration, which means you can also get a free item every time you spend $90. Well, this bundle is $81.75, so you'd only have to add on like a pack of glue dots or something like that, and you'd have enough to get a free celebration set. If you wanted to, you could get this gorgeous Most Adored paper that is a free celebration set. So I think this is a great little bundle. If you have any questions, reach out to me. In the description below this video, there is a link to my online store and also a link to the next person in our Global Video Hop. So you can go on there and see the next video, and we have people that pop by every time and just watch all the videos in the hop just to see what everyone's done. I encourage you to do that. We have some really talented, wonderful girls in this group. So enjoy, and I'll be back again next month with another project for the Global Video Hop. Thanks, guys. Bye.